South Jersey has a rich mix of cultures, and the South Jersey Cultural Alliance is placing a spotlight on cultural artists. We discuss this as well as the upcoming Latino Festival in 2021. It's all here on the next Latino Motion. Join us.
Choose to get lost in the woods to gain experience in forest management.
Choose to travel through time to understand the past.
Choose to soar to pursue a career in dance.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, offering primary, specialty, and urgent care, plus surgery and more. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.
Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias and welcome to Latino Motion. South Jersey has a rich mix of cultures, and the South Jersey Cultural Alliance is placing a spotlight on cultural artists. Joining me is Julie Hain. She is the Associate Director of the Cultural Alliance. Julie, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thanks for having me, Bert.
Hey, I want to start off right off the top because not a lot of folks may be as familiar with the South Jersey Cultural Alliance. Tell me a little bit about the South Jersey Cultural Alliance.
Well, the Cultural Alliance has been around for more than 25 years. And in that time, they really began as an organization to help champion arts, culture, and history in South Jersey. So they wanted to make sure that South Jersey was getting the appropriate amount of resources, and they were able to accomplish that with the State Council on the Arts through advocacy. And, the work continued on to try and connect the cultural community. And a couple of years ago, we started to take a very hard look at the work we were doing and how it was really impacting the cultural community. And we realized that we were not really representing the entire South Jersey cultural community. And being that our name is the South Jersey Cultural Alliance, we wanted to live up to our name. So we decided to embark on a project and work that would really connect us in a deeper way to the cultural community to make sure that they have the resources, information they need, they're connected to us, they're connected to each other, and that helps to create a thriving cultural sector. And that, everything we do is really aimed at telling that whole story of the full spectrum of arts culture.
It certainly does. And, when we used to think about the South Jersey culture, you may think about the seashore and the architecture, but the demographics certainly has changed. Absolutely. There's a rich cultural heritage that we have here in Atlantic County and South Jersey, and it's great that the South Jersey Cultural Alliance is expanding and incorporating the full scope of culture that's present here. I know that we've had the pleasure of working with the Cultural Alliance years past regarding to our Latino Festival, et cetera. Tell me a little bit about some of the initiatives, and I know we're going to get a little later on into the big one that you're promoting right now, but you have some big work to kind of bring everything together through a mapping process. You want to tell me a little more about that?
Sure. So at our heart, we're a membership organization. So we're trying to create a community that artists and nonprofit cultural and history organizations and community culture groups and creative businesses and independent artists and historic sites and festivals, all of those things that make up that really rich and diverse, dynamic arts and cultural sector here. We're trying to keep them connected through a wide communication network. So we have monthly convenings where our virtual connection sessions where we allow members of the cultural community to come and convene with us virtually right now. We have guest speakers on topics that are suggested by the community. So we make sure that we're giving relevant talks and sharing relevant information. We're developing digital resources on our website so that people can find each other. They can find collaborative opportunities. They can find about events that all of these members are doing. Last year we ended the year with about 100 members, and through the work we've been doing just since the lockdown, we've been able to expand that to over 300, and we're working on partnerships throughout the state with Art Pride, Sustainable Jersey, Visit South Jersey, all of our members, all of the county cultural and heritage offices, the folk life centers, of which there are 3 in South Jersey, and there's only 5 in the entire state. So, we're expanding those partnerships. We're really trying to cast a wide net. We're working with Of By For All, which is a nonprofit that helps to create a model for outreach so that we can reach out to underrepresented communities that we don't already have kind of a foothold in. And that was how our work started with the Hispanic Association.
Let's talk a little bit about, because I know that many have gone away from the arts, if you will. I know there's an effort to, instead of STEM, to make it STEAM, to include the arts, which is very, very important. And it seems like the schools do not have the richness of art programs that they used to in the past. What do you see as important for our region to fill in that gap?
Well, I think connection with the schools is important, and we have developed an arts education resource directory. It's one of our resources on the site that lists teaching artists and the work that they do, so that schools have a place to go to find artists to come in and do that work in the schools. Unfortunately, not much of that's happening this year, given the pandemic, but we do work with young audiences who has certification programs to help develop school-ready programs. We work with Arts Ed New Jersey to help. They worked with us to develop the directory and to help try and find professional development opportunities for these artists and to get them into the schools so that they can have a very culturally diverse representation of the arts in South Jersey. It's difficult because of budgets and time constraints and those sorts of things. And those things are kind of out of our hands, but we can certainly give resources to the schools so when they're ready, they can tap into what we have to offer.
I know you're the right person to ask. When we talk about the arts, and this is the Cultural Alliance, what do you include in that? Is it just the paintings? Is it dance? Tell me a little more what we would consider to be the arts.
Well, we consider the arts to be very all-inclusive. So that's everything from visual arts, which would include painting, sculpture, photography, to fashion design, oral storytelling, dance, music performance, even cinema, graphic design, history, and environment are included in that as well. There's so much crossover in this region between the arts, history, and the environment that it's very difficult to separate them. So as an organization, we try and save space for everyone to be represented and promoted. And I think that's one of the things that makes South Jersey so unique is that crossover. And we have such a rich history that it really champions all of the arts in South Jersey, and we don't want to leave anybody out.
When I think about South Jersey and the richness of the culture we have here, everything from the Latino community to the Asian community, how are you bridging the gap to kind of bring those other cultures and highlight the arts and their cultural heritage from these organizations or these individuals?
Well, through the work that we're doing now with our Cultural Asset Project, we are trying to reach out to community groups like the Hispanic Association of Atlantic County, like the New Jersey Arts and Culture Administrators of Color, and we're trying to make connections in communities that we haven't represented before. And we're trying to create opportunities for them to connect with us and with each other through events like the South Jersey Creatives at the Table event, and also through membership with SJCA way so that we can know how to communicate with them about opportunities for collaboration, resources available to them to help get them the supports they need so they can apply for those grants and, get the support they need to do what they're already doing better, and to tell that story louder so that people know that South Jersey is a cultural destination and a vibrant one at that. And we have very, very interesting things happening here.
And Julie, certainly making South Jersey a cultural destination is very important. And I know the Hispanic community plays an important role in that. You mentioned Jessica Grullón. She happens to be the vice president of the Hispanic Association and is also involved with the Cultural Alliance. We're going to take a quick break. We'll bring her back in with you. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. We continue our discussion with the South Jersey Cultural Alliance, and Julie Haynes and Jessica Grullón is also joining us. Julie is the associate director, and Jessica happens to be involved with the Cultural Alliance, and she also is the first vice president of the Hispanic Association. Julie, I want to start off with you and follow up with Jessica on a program that you're working on to bring artists to the table. Tell me about this program.
Sure. Well, the event is called South Jersey Creatives at the Table, and it was really born from the work we're trying to do to connect in a deeper way with the cultural community and provide them a space where they can connect with each other. So what we've decided to do through the work that Jessica is helping us with the Change Network and our outreach was to create this event, a free monthly event that's hosted on Zoom, featuring a different artist or cultural leader each month. And every month it's different, so it depends on the presenter. Every event is unique, and so they range from everything from virtual studio tours to art slams to relevant cultural discussions, open forums where artists and other members of the community can come and bring their own thoughts to the table and generate their own discussion. Last month was our inaugural event. It went very well. It was Zoraida Martinez, who is a Latinx artist in South Jersey, creator of Verdadism. She did a virtual gallery tour of her work, and it was very well received, and we got a lot of great feedback, and we're moving forward with another Latinx artist this month on February 18th at 6 p.m. It's going to be Pedro Fuller, who is an artist that has worked with Rutgers Camden Gallery, the Stedman Gallery. He's had shows there. He's very active in the community. He does large-scale painting works. He's going to give us a tour of his private studio and his home and talk about his work, answer questions from the cultural community, and then with whatever time we have left over, we'll have open discussion with anyone who's attending the event.
Well, you mentioned two Latino artists, which is great. Pedro Fuller, I met him before. Us is Jessica, when we brought him in for the Hispanic Association. And Jessica, this is great, incorporating the Latino culture and involving Latino artists. What do you think is so important to make sure that Latinos are representative in these type of forums?
Yeah, sure. So first, thank you for having me on the show. I do want to let you know that when you think of Latino culture, especially in South Jersey, you think of music, you think of bright colored art, sculptures, beautiful dances, performances. Whenever there's a party or a fundraiser or, we're in need of any programming, we always seem to call one another, hey, Bert, Hispanic Association, do you know anybody that would be interested in, maybe performing or providing some type of artistic talent to an event? And instead of doing it that way, the old school way of calling one another and sharing texts, it's so important to create one centralized location, right? There's creatives at the table, and where people can connect with one another. Artists can tap into resources that will help support them, and will also promote their work. So not just sharing things through Facebook or social media. We're talking about like an actual legit organization that will be able to provide opportunities for funding, right, for grants, for many other opportunities that really we do not have within our own communities at the moment.
And that is a wonderful thing, and we do have some pretty good artists locally here, and getting them connected to like the Cultural Alliance, I think, is going to be important. Julie, I understand that you're going to continue this as a series, and do you expect to have more Latino artists coming to the table?
Yes, we certainly hope that we will have more Latino artists coming to the table, and there's opportunities to present. If there are any Latino artists out there who are interested, any cultural leaders who have discussions that they want to have at the Creatives at the Table event, just reach out to us. We're happy to work it into the schedule. We've got these first 2 months. It's a very new event for us. We're still looking for artists and presenters. We're partnering with other organizations. We're partnering with Cooper's Ferry to do some Camden-based artists as well. So there's lots of room for this to grow, and the potential is really limitless. So this event, I hope that it becomes an event that the community takes ownership of and really wants to participate in, because the more participation we get, the better the events are, the more we connect with you, the more you tell us what your needs are, what your struggles are, what your successes are. We can champion, your strengths, and we can help find resources to bolster you in those areas that you need help with, so that you can do what you're doing better and let the world know that South Jersey is a vibrant place full of arts and culture, particularly in the Latino communities.
Yeah, Jessica, I was wondering, I know that you know that there's a lot of cultural artists that they do the arts within the community. They don't get that exposure that they should. I'm thinking of the little market I have down the street, the Villarita, where they have some nice art products there, and these aren't highlighted the way they should. What more can we do with the Cultural Alliance to make sure that happens?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now we're just focusing on spreading the word, right? The best way to spread the word is through our Latino-owned businesses, or like you said, the Villita. Or I always think of what's a huge pillar in the Latino community. I think of the church, right? So anytime there's any information that we want our community to hear about, whether it's politics, whether it's something that's social justice, whether it's now the arts, right? When you're promoting a festival or, anything. The South Jersey Cultural Asset Mapping Project is the opportunity for our Latinx artists to connect. And so they could just visit sjca.net/SJCAMP, so SJ Camp, and submit a cultural asset, learn more about other projects, and also how to get involved. That's really what's more important to us.
Well, that's wonderful. And I know that we need to certainly get the word out and get more these artists that we have right here in our midst. I mean, you mentioned the church, the bodega down the street. These organizations do know of artists, and we just need to get them connected so that they could get a wider audience and certainly continue what's going on here in the community. Very quickly, I know that time is limited, and we want to continue with the next segment. But again, Julie, can you tell us how people could get in touch with your organization? I know Jessica just discussed it, but is the website the only method?
Well, you can certainly find us on the website. You can email me at jhain, HAIN, at sjca.net. You can give us a call on the phone. Our number is 609-626-3630. We're happy to answer any questions you have. We really want these events to be yours. We want you to take ownership of them and make them work for you. So we're open to all suggestions and collaborations. Just reach out, and we want you as part of our community.
Well, Julie, thank you. Obviously, folks could reach out to you. We have a lot more to talk, so I want to ask both of you to stay connected for the next segment. We want to talk a little bit more about some happenings here in South Jersey. I know Jessica has one important announcement they want to talk about. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion. Welcome back to Latino Motion. We continue our discussion with the South Jersey Cultural Alliance, and we have Julie Hain, who is the Associate Director, as well as Jessica Budillon, also involved with the Cultural Alliance and the first Vice President of the Hispanic Association. We were talking about connecting Latino artists with the Cultural Alliance. We gave out the website, we gave out the phone number, an email, but I wanted to ask you, people who do not speak English, that only speak Spanish, are they still able to connect with the South Jersey Cultural Alliance? Julie, you want to answer that?
Sure. Yes, they absolutely are. If we receive emails that we need to have translated during the events, we have translators available. We also have students from Stockton that we're working with that can help us with phone conversations or any translation needs. So if there's no language barrier here, reach out to us and we'll find a way to connect with you and communicate.
Very good. And Jessica, I know that the Hispanic Association is both a cultural and advocacy organization, and we've been involved in this space for a very long time. We featured artists some years ago. We held a Latino festival for 15 years. In 2019, there was a resurgence of the festival where there were 7,000 people that attended. COVID hit. We didn't have one last year. Is there a plan for another festival in 2021?
Well, you heard it here first. We have been given the green light to begin planning and trying to propose a safe festival for our community. I think that we really have some really exciting opportunities for our Latinx artists and all artists actually to be able to participate with creatives at the table, with the South Jersey Cultural Alliance and the Hispanic Association this summer. So stay tuned. Make sure that you follow HAC on Facebook, and definitely tune in and attend one of our general membership meetings for more information on how you can help.
Yeah, and I know that's planned for September, so hopefully enough time that we could get over the hump of COVID and we get enough immunizations. And Jessica, I know that the association is also working to try to get more Latinos engaged with COVID vaccinations because, as you know, people of color, the Latino community is lagging behind in those immunizations. And that's also important as well.
Absolutely. We have been disproportionately affected by this pandemic. And HAC has been working very closely. You, Bert, as the president, has been working very closely to ensure that with Atlanticare to be able to provide testing and immunizations to our community. So stay tuned, visit our website definitely to get more information about those dates.
So just, I'm sorry, Julie, staying with the theme of the festival, how does the Cultural Alliance get involved with organizations like the Hispanic Association to help them with these cultural events that are taking place in South Jersey to make South Jersey that cultural destination?
Well, we can help in a number of ways. If you're looking for resources on logistics, we can help you find resources, consultants, or available supports throughout the state to help in the planning phase. We can help you find artists, particularly now that we're working on this mapping project, and we will be able to connect you with artists or performers throughout South Jersey so that you can have a local representation of culture at the event. We can certainly help with promotion. We have promotional partners, and our membership is growing. As we work on this mapping project, everyone who's added to the map receives a basic membership to SJCA. So our community is growing every day. So we'll be able to spread the word about the event for you, so that more community members can attend and get involved. And whatever the needs are, SJCA is really a place where you come to us to tell us what your needs are, and we try and help you find the resources and supports you need to do your work. So, as you're planning, we're happy to be involved in all aspects of that and help to promote the event and get as many people attending and participating as possible.
Yeah, and Jessica, I know that part of that September is Hispanic Heritage Month. Part of that celebration back in 2019, before COVID, also included a Nuestro Pueblo Awards with a beautiful tribute called Havana Nights. And that's something that's also being considered for the Hispanic Association, correct?
Absolutely. We are going to be hosting our first planning committee meeting very soon. Havana Nights was a great fundraising opportunity to provide scholarships for our students interested in attending college, right, post high school. And we were very successful in 2019. We had, musicians attend, guitarists, we had singers, we had dancers. It was such a beautiful night. And what a great way to celebrate our culture than by giving back to our community, celebrating our community leaders and those that have made a significant impact in our Latino community. And hopefully we'll have some members from our creatives at the table come and attend as well.
Very good. Julie, is there you mentioned the mapping, but do you currently have a list of artists available on your website? Is that
Yes.
also readily available for other organizations that want to celebrate, let's say, Hispanic Heritage Month? And I guess, Jessica, we're going to make sure that we're part of that mapping as well. But there is something in place already, correct?
Yes, we're just getting started right now, trying to figure out what to do with all the data we've been amassing. We've been really collecting a lot of data. Our membership has grown. The map is growing. We're getting ready to double the size of the map, I think, by the end of this month. So those resources are going to be available on the website. How they're displayed may be changing a little bit, but at any point, you can go to sjca.net and look at the Explore South Jersey Artists section. They're all listed there. Every artist who's on the map also has a profile page, which typically includes images of their work, ways that you can contact them directly, their website, social media, all of those things. So you can always look to sjca.net for a listing of the artists. And if you're not finding what you're looking for, reach out and we'll help you do that. You can also follow our Facebook page and social media as well, where we post opportunities to get involved. And we're also developing an artists and cultural leader directory for underrepresented communities. So we hope to, by the summer months, be able to have a directory specific to culturally specific artists and performers. So that might help with your planning for the Latino Festival. And this is a long-term project for us. This is not.
We got 1 minute. We got 1 minute left, and I have an important question because I know that most of the artists start very young. Mm-hmm. Just tell me a little bit about what you're doing to reach and really any guidance you give to parents to foster the creative talents of the youth.
Okay. Well, I think it's very important to foster a love of arts and culture while children are young, and to let them know that they don't need to go to a museum in North Jersey or New York to experience it. Art and culture are everywhere. It's ingrained within your community. It's in the restaurant next door, in the gallery down the street, in the school after school programs. So I would say attend events, see what's available, find out what's in your local neighborhood, and just tap into those resources. That's one of the things we're trying to do, is to create a central place where parents can go to find out what's available to them in arts and culture, and to foster that love early so we can have our next generation of cultural leaders and artists,
that's all we're hoping for. So thoroughly, thank you so much. Great information. We cover a lot of material. Wish you a lot of success, and looking forward to the Latino Festival in 2021. Again, thank you both for joining us. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us at home once again here on Latino Motion.
Choose to get your feet wet, to learn more about protecting our environment.
Choose to read minds, to understand the human brain.
Choose to get your hands dirty, to create a masterpiece.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, offering primary, specialty, and urgent care, plus surgery and more. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.